Hey guys, welcome back. If it's your first time here, think about subscribing through this video. We'd love to keep growing this channel. But today I'm going to show you how to fix a crack in ATV plastics using a plastic welder. This is like a $30, $40 plastic welder. It's nothing super extreme or special, but it gets the job done. So let's get to work. All right, now I got the right front fender. You can see this one has another really big crack in it. And it has a Frankenstein repair on the underside. It's like a little thin piece of aluminum or coated steel. Not 100% sure, but it's riveted in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat staple the rest of the crack before I attempt to drill any of these out and cause more stress to it. So this is a pretty simple concept. You put the staple ends into the two probes of the plastic welder. Make sure it's in there even. You're going to center the crack. Squeeze the trigger. The probes basically ground themselves out, instantly heating the staple and sinking it into the plastic. Give it a couple seconds, let it cool, and then pull the gun off. You do have to be careful here because the plastic's only about 1/8 of an inch thick and you're sinking a staple about 1/16 of an inch. You do not want to push it, just let the gun do the work. Make sure your crack is pretty flush. You can do the staple, you know, right now I'm showing you perpendicular to the crack because I want to try and get as many staples as I can at this little point. Heat it. Let it sink in, cool, and then pull it off. Now I'm going to use a pair of dikes. I'm going to trim down the staple tips. I like to use my hand to kind of cover it because these little pieces just want to fly everywhere. They want to hit you in the face. You come back with a sanding disc, basically grind these down pretty smooth. Don't dig into the plastic. So this way when you put your hand under the fender, you're not cutting your hand all up, cheese grating your skin. Alright, now let's flip it over, drill out these rivets, and get rid of this piece of metal. Now we're just going to continue getting staples on the rest of this crack all the way to the end. One thing I forgot to record, that because I did make this mistake, is I pushed the staple in a little too far and actually started to come through the other end. What you can do then is, you know, it can cool down, but then heat it back up with the gun, use a pair of needle nose pliers, grab the tip of the staple and start to pull it out while you're heating it with the gun. Then you can make it even, or take it completely out and redo it. In the next step you'll see it's really not going to be that big of a deal because you're going to be smoothing out the other side. Still see the crack, but we're going to blend the plastic back into it using this tip. This tip goes on the end of the gun and it just grounds out, gets real hot real quick. With this gun that I have, I don't have to hold the trigger the entire time because I don't want to melt the plastic too much. I'm just trying to help the plastic blend back into and fill the crack. You want to go nice and slow and just pay attention to it. You can go a little side to side if you feel like you got to add a little more plastic to it. Now there are some other plastic welding kits that come with different tips, a little bit of a wider spoon, stuff like that. This is a very basic setup. I wanted the tip and I wanted the staples. This is only a $30, $40 kit. This is my first time ever doing this, so I wasn't going to go too crazy on the tool. So one of the things with this is think about spreading peanut butter. You don't want to dig the tip into the plastic, creating more of a problem. Just try and spread it as smooth as you can. And as you can see, the crack gets all filled up. So flip it back over, and we are going to fill the rivet holes. Now what I'm going to use to fill these rivet holes is actually a piece of the front fender. I wanted to make sure I was using the same type of plastic. So all I'm doing now is I'm heating up a little piece of that plastic, and as it gets hot, I'm pushing it into the hole. I'm filling the hole with it. I'm not turning this into like a liquid form. Just think about peanut butter. We're getting it hot enough where we can work with it. And just keep pushing it in, pushing it in. Now I didn't just cut this fender off so I can fill these 4 little holes. No, there's a little bit of a reason behind it. I wanted to trim the front fenders just so it has a little bit of a better side profile to the rear fender. Kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Then you just want to flip the fender back over, and I did push a little bit further than I needed to. Like I kind of overfilled the hole. And that's when you just want to smooth it out. Just like I did when I was sealing the crack. Just kind of smooth out the extra. And we're trying to have this hole completely filled. And now we'll just keep filling the rest. Alright guys, well if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to subscribe. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Orbit sander. I got 220 grit on it. I'm going to real lightly hit the whole area. All I'm trying to do is get rid of the, you know, the little plastic grooves that are created when the plastic melts and cools. And just try and make it a little smoother to the touch. Blend it in a little bit better. Don't go too crazy if you do this because you only have so much plastic to work with. And I am also not shooting for perfection. But I think it looks pretty good. Now going from this horrible looking crack and repair to this. Now it does have a little bit of a Scarface look to it, but I'm really happy with it. It looks better than it did. I hope you learned a little something from this. Thanks again guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.